Hi, welcome to the Mental Health Network on YouTube. I'm Tammy Fletcher, licensed marriage and family therapist, and today we're going to be talking about fidgets, toys that you can play with to help you distract your hands and your attention away from chronic skin picking or hair pulling. Now, if you ask any of my clients who come to see me for skin picking, which is also called Dermatillomania or excoriation, or chronic hair pulling, which is called Trichotillomania, they'll tell you about my toy basket. I typically have this out during my sessions. Clients are welcome to play with it and try out some of the different fidget toys and see if there's anything that they like that they think may help distract them when they get the urge to pick or to pull. So what I've tried to do in the items that I have for my clients to try out is to have a little bit of everything so that they can really experiment, see what they like, because if they don't like it, they're not going to use it. Now, on that same note, let me kind of divert for a minute to talk about different types of textures, different types of sizes, shapes, round, hard, soft, fuzzy. Different people like different things. The point of all of this is, the point of looking for a fidget toy or item that can distract you from picking or pulling is that it's something that you like, that you feel good holding, that you don't mind sort of fidgeting with, and that can help you get over those urges. Now, I add new items as often as I can, and the inspiration for this video is something that I just came across last week, and this is called the Twiddler. And it's just a couple of pieces of hard plastic, acrylic, I'm not sure what it is. It's a toy. You can play with it. I just got it today. These come from a company called thetwiddler.com. I'll put the link in the description bar, and Clark Meyer there was kind enough to send me some Twiddlers to try out to see if it might be something that my clients would be interested in. Now, the thing that I like about this one, possibly compared to some of the others that I'm going to show you, is that you can actually do tricks with it. And obviously, I don't quite have that mastered after just having it, but oftentimes if someone really has a strong urge to pick or to pull, it takes a lot to get their attention away from that urge. So I liked this especially. It's very well made. It's very strong. I got the black and white one because I thought that was easier. They come in a couple of different colors, but I thought people could have fun figuring out the different tricks that you could do with it. Definitely something that you could easily keep at your desk, in your pocket, in your purse, and play with anytime you felt your hands drifting up to where you don't want them to be. So thank you, Clark, for sending me the Twiddlers, and I highly recommend them. I think they would be a lot of fun to play with. And that is sort of my take on Trichotillomania and Dermatillomania. I'm not a huge fan of shaming clients for any reason. Most clients will tell me, yes, I've tried the Band-Aids on my fingers, but it's very embarrassing. I carry my anti-pull or anti-pick kit with me everywhere with different things in it, and I just don't want the attention, so I tend not to use it. So I look for things that are small, that are easy to carry around, that might be fun to do. So most of these fit that bill. A couple of them are a little bit bigger and a little bit more complicated, but I'll get to that. Let me start with the simplest ones first. This is very commonly used by people that pick or pull. This is just Play-Doh. It's just a little tiny container of Play-Doh. And not so easy to take out, like say you're in a class and that's where you typically might pull your hair or pick at your skin. And I believe Play-Doh has kind of that very recognizable smell, but some people really like it. Another option that I don't have here that other clients have told me that they enjoy using that seems to help is Silly Putty, which is a little bit more, it doesn't have a smell from what I remember of using it when I was younger. So things like this, clay, if that's kind of the thing that you like to feel in your hands, if it feels comfortable to you, that might be a good distraction. Okay, moving on. This one is very popular. I have a lot of people playing with this one. This is called a wooden puzzle fidget. So I'm not sure what the puzzle part is with it, but it bends. It's got sharp corners, not sharp, but I mean it's not rounded. And people do like to play with this one. So this would be something that you could easily slip into a purse, your pocket. It's not particularly well put together. It's just connected with a band, but definitely something that people like. You could roll it around in your hand. And that is the wooden puzzle fidget. I got that from Amazon.com, which I got most of these from Amazon.com because the prices were really good. And I was mainly getting them to sort of experiment and see what people might like. But this one's very popular. This is called, sorry, don't know where to put it there. This is a sensory sticks, S-T-I-X-X. They may be called other things by other vendors, and that's probably true for all of the things that I'm going to show you unless they're copyrighted, like the Twiddler. This, I've seen people who pull their hair really like this one. It's not scratchy per se, but maybe a little bit. It's just rubber, sort of like a brush. But people roll it in their hands, they just hold on to it, they're able to kind of run their hands across the little bristles that it has, and so this one is pretty popular as well. This is a fidget pencil top, and I've got a bunch of these. These were so inexpensive. They were just a couple of dollars for like a dozen of them. And you just put them on the top of a pencil. So again, you're being kind of stealth. It's not like, hey, look at me, I've got a problem and I've got to distract myself. Not at all. It's, you put it on the top of a pencil, and much like the texture of the sensory stick, it's got little bristles. They're a little bit softer, and you could kind of mess with it and keep your hands busy. Okay, next is one of my favorites. As you can see, I have a lot of these. These have a variety of names. These are called Tangle Juniors from a company called Tangle Creations. The reason I have so many is because it's hard to see right now on the camera, but they have different textures. For example, this one is smooth and shiny. You just can bend them and play with them, basically. I've got one that I keep in my purse. Someone gave me for Christmas, and I was going to put it in the basket, but I found that I liked kind of holding on to it when I drive. So this one is shiny. This one, again, hard to see. It's got different textures on it. Some of it's shiny, some of it's bumpy. Another shiny one. This one's bumpy all over. This one's sort of a fake metal looking, very shiny. This one's got a little bit of a softer feel to it. And then this one is sort of fuzzy. It's like, it's a little bit fuzzier than velvet or suede would be. And so people can play with these. You can fold them up. I've seen younger people, kids, who pick or pull wearing them as bracelets. And so what works about a fidget toy or an item to distract your hands is that it's typically easiest to use if it's readily available. It's right there. It's in your pocket. It's in your purse. It's on your wrist. So these sort of fit that bill for a lot of people. Okay, that's the contents of my toy basket. I'll put the Twiddler back on top there. A couple things that you probably already have, especially for females, and most of the people that I see for Trichotillomania and Dermatillomania are female. Things like bracelets, charm bracelets. For one thing, they make a little noise. If you find that you give in to urges to pick or pull before you even really become aware of it, something that makes a little jangly noise, something that it is going to have a little bit of a weight to it that maybe isn't normally there, might give you a little bit of a reminder, just a few seconds, enough time for you to realize what's happening, that you're giving into an urge, and that you would prefer not to. So things that you may already have, like bracelets. This is just a Pandora charm bracelet. If you wear necklaces, people play with their necklaces, they play with their earrings. If it works for you, do it. Okay, so speaking of bracelets, jewelry, that kind of thing, this is from the Trichotillomania Learning Center at trick.org, and again, the link will be in the down bar below. I got this from them. It's available in their store online. I got this for renewing my professional membership with them, and they call it a snake bracelet. It looks metal, but you can coil it very easily. Now, I'm not sure I would wear this as a bracelet, but it's so long you could wear it as a necklace, and just kind of, you can twist it, as you see, and it just sort of kind of stays twisted. I'm sure you could tie it in a knot. Again, if it works, go for it. So this is something new that I just got as well, and people like it. They have a whole range of different fiddle toys, fidget toys available at trick.org, so you can check that out. If you don't purchase from them, that's fine. You can get some ideas about what might work for you. Now, back on the subject of things that you might already have, things like screws and nuts and bolts. Some people like that harder feeling thing, or they like something that they can screw on and screw off. So if you've got something around in the garage, craft tools, that kind of thing, those might work well for you too. Now, particularly for those people who have trichotillomania and pull their hair, Annette Pasternak, who is an amazing author, again, link below in the description bar to her website and some information about her book, recommends these things, and they are called head massagers. So you take this and you put it on top of your head and you kind of just move it around. It actually feels really good. I can totally see if you had a headache or something that this would be very relaxing, and you just kind of move it around on your scalp like this. If you've got the urge to pull your hair, this is not something that you're going to whip out of your purse or out of your pocket. It's bigger, it doesn't fold up, but it feels pretty good, and it might satisfy that urge. So this might be something that you could keep at home, that you could use. Let's say you get home and you find that you pull when you're in front of the TV or in the bathroom. You could try this instead and see if that helps. Now, my last thing to show you is also one of my newest. Somebody gave me this for Christmas because I'd seen a YouTube video and I wanted to try it. I'm not sure how easy this will be to show you on camera, but this is Kinetic Sand. Everybody that's been in my office has had to have a look at this, and I've sort of made them play with it. But you can kind of squeeze it together and it holds its shape, but then it just sort of melts away. Again, not something that you can keep in your pocket, that you can keep in your purse, but it's very cool, and I find that people are telling me that it's relaxing to just sort of run their fingers through the sand, or let the sand run through their hands back into the tray or wherever you keep it. You can get Kinetic Sand just about anywhere. From what I understand, it's just regular sand with a little bit of silicone in it. Now, I could be wrong about the exact makeup of it, but it doesn't stick to your hands, it doesn't get all over you. Well, that's not entirely true. Okay, so maybe it can get all over you, but people like this a lot. It's a cute novelty thing. I got this tray separately, but you can find Kinetic Sand at Brookstone, on Amazon.com, at certain specialty toy stores. It's not very expensive and worth it if you feel like that would be something that was relaxing to you and that would keep your hands busy. If you notice during this video, I've got bright red nails on. I keep a drawer full of new nail polishes in my office because, again, I'm not such a huge fan of big band-aids or tape on the fingers, but I've noticed that if people have, if they take good care of their nails, if they kind of manicure them themselves, you don't have to spend a lot of money. put a bright color on them, that again, by noticing them, particularly for people that pick their skin, just sometimes if we can buy you a couple of seconds where you can realize, whoa, I'm feeling that urge to pick or to pull, that reminded me, maybe I'm just going to use some deep breathing or some of the exercises that we've talked about in my other videos on body-focused repetitive behaviors. Sometimes it just takes a couple of seconds to have a little bit of a buffer of time to enable you to make a different choice. So I appreciate you watching this video. If you have any things that you use to help distract your hands or pull your attention away from the urges to pick or pull, please do share them in the down bar below. Quite often people that pull their hair or pick at their skin think that they're the only person in the whole world that engages in that behavior, and that's definitely not true. So anything that we can do to help you to share resources and experiences is a good thing in helping you to reduce and or eliminate these behaviors. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.